You don't need to get hacked to have your address, full name, and workplace exposed online. Most likely, you're already sharing that data. You just need to be careless a lot of times in the row to connect your online persona with your real-life identity. So if you're a VTuber or any faceless creator, the platforms you use now want your real ID on file, especially if you're trying to monetize. I know Meta, YouTube, and TikTok have asked me for my ID. Your face is on record. Your community all in one place. That means one screw up can connect your on-screen persona with your real life. Alright, so let's talk about staying safe online because the internet is getting way more invasive than it used to be. And platforms like Discord are rolling out ID checks and face scans, and that is terrifying if you're a VTuber, streamer, or anyone faceless that's trying to keep their identity just separate. On top of that, most people can find you from tiny scraps of info, the way your room looks, the time you post, the IP you leaked once on stream, the metadata in your photos. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how people actually trace you and what you can do about IP tracing, photo metadata, bad password habits, and why VPNs don't magically make you invisible. So let's start with Discord and this whole show us your ID trend. More and more online platforms, including Discord, are moving towards Face ID or scan-based verification for certain features or full access, usually under the banner of safety or age verification or this is safe for kids, but it never is. On paper, that sounds like we just want to keep kids safe, but for you as a creator, it means your real-world identity is now attached to an account where you might just be venting, role-playing, or saying some things that you don't want leaked to your legal name. We all have controversial opinions. If that database ever gets leaked, sold, or misused, someone suddenly has your face, your legal name, maybe your address or birth, plus your entire online history under that account. So, what can you actually do about it? First, you have to verify, give them the minimum they'll accept. Don't upload extra documents or information just because it's convenient. Second, treat that ID verified account like it's a separate person. You need a different email, different username, different password that's different from your creator or VTuber persona and from your real life. Remember, we're not trying to link the two. Third, lock down the security of that account. Turn on two-factor authentication, use strong, unique passwords. Yes, what Apple is suggesting to you. And go into the privacy settings and shut off everything you don't absolutely need. Listen, I know you really want to be verified on these platforms and make a couple extra dollars, but remember, selling your ID to Meta just so that you can make a couple dollars off a video isn't worth it. You are selling your data to this company. And I know it doesn't look like a transaction, but it is. Next up, let's talk about IP addresses really quick. Your IP address is basically a returnable address on the packets you send across the internet. It usually points to your ISP and in a rough physical area near you. On its own, an IP might narrow only down to a city or neighborhood, but once someone combines that with other clues you're giving out, like your time zone, language, when you're online, little details you've dropped along the way, it gets way more specific. For creators, the two biggest risks are 1, clicking shady links that are just IP grabbers, and 2, exposing your home IP because you're hosting game servers or tools directly from your PC. If you can click on a random check out this click link someone DM'd you, that site can log your IP, your browser, and your rough location. You better hope that person who just got your information isn't a champ in GeoGuessr. If you self-host stuff from home, game servers, web panels, whatever, people connecting to it can see your IP, and from there they can probe for vulnerabilities or at least scare you with a, I know your city. That little amount you saved hosting on your own PC isn't worth your data. Stop selling it. You need to be extra careful on public Wi-Fi. I know you're going to these cons, and I know that you get on airplanes. Don't make a silly mistake and open all of your sensitive data on these public networks. They can definitely intercept or tamper with your traffic. Okay, now we're going to talk about my favorite section, and something that I'm very passionate about. Let's talk about your photos and metadata, because this is huge. When you take a picture or record a video on most new smartphones and cameras, mine included, they embed hidden data called EXIF metadata. Things like the device's model, the time it was took, sometimes even GPS coordinates are linked to these photos so that they can be easily tracked later. That metadata is still included where the exact location of that photo was taken, so some social media sites strip most of the metadata automatically, but not all of them, and sending the original file through your email, Google Drive, or directly on Discord can keep that data intact. That's right, these are not being cleansed on those specific platforms. Even if the metadata is gone, the image itself is full of clues. Street signs, the view out your window, a school logo, license plate, local brands, your favorite restaurant. People who are dedicated to doxing treat it like a game. They'll match the skyline, compare house layouts on Google Maps, look at which side of the road cars are on. You really do need to think about everything before you share a real-life photo of yourself. Here's what to do before you post. Turn off location tagging on your camera app so new photos don't store GPS coordinates. If you're sending or uploading something extra sensitive, strip its metadata first. Use basic tools or export through an editor that removes the EXIF, or quite literally, just screenshot it. Now, you gotta do some investigation of yourself. Look at what's in the background. Take down mail with your address, blur license plate, hide schools, workplace logos, and careful showing distinctive views from your window. Especially in cases where they could be geo-specific, like cherry blossoms only happening in Japan in the spring. Be careful, buddies, something beautiful might get ya. For VTubers, decide early, are you ever going to show your real face on this persona? Because once your face is on the internet, it can be linked to old accounts, real name profiles, and even public records using face recognition and search. And yes, that exists. Okay, now the least glamorous but most important part, passwords. If you reuse the same password everywhere, all of your OPSEC can be destroyed in a single database leak that you never even heard about for months later. Attackers use something called credential stuffing. They take leaked email password combos from one site and then try them on another, Gmail, Discord, Twitch, PayPal, Steam, you name it, they're gonna try. So here's the mindset shift. Every important account gets its own unique password. That means your main email, your Discord, your YouTube, your Twitch, your bank, your payment stuff, no duplicates ever. You're not supposed to memorize all of that. That's what password managers are for. Use a password manager to generate long random passwords, let it store them, and you only remember one strong master password, and only have to keep track of one type of data leak. Then, of course, always, and I mean literally always, there's no reason not to do this, add a second layer. Turn on multi-factor authentication everywhere you can, preferably using an authentication app or hardware key instead of SMS. If someone steals your password, they can't get in without that second factor. Lock down the email accounts tied to your channels and servers. If someone gets your email, they can literally get everything else and quietly take over. You need to protect this with your life. Never share your logins, use roles, shared access features, or team tools so your editor or mod can show you something on the PC. You don't need to do this, ever. There's always an alternative. You never need to give someone access to your PC. Let's clear up the VPN confusion. The VPN provider itself can, in theory, see your traffic, could log it, and this is why choosing a reputable provider and checking their policies matter. The websites and apps you log into still know it's you because you're giving them your username and password. Your browser fingerprint, things like your plugins, fonts, screen size, and your behavior patterns can still be identified even with the VPN on. So use VPNs for what they're good at. Protecting yourself on public or untrusted networks, making IP-based harassment harder, and adding another layer between home and the internet. But don't assume that just because you're on a VPN, you can say or do anything without consequences. Your accounts, your metadata, and your habits, unfortunately, still connect the dots. And a lot of times, if you're doing illegal activity, this stuff can still be pulled or subpoenaed. Now, let's wrap up with a rapid-fire checklist you can act on after this video. Identity separation. Use different emails, usernames, profile pictures for your real-life identity and your online persona. Don't mention your real first name, your city, your age, and your job all in the same place. Spread or completely avoid these details. Now, platform safety. Go through your Discord, your YouTube, Twitch, and other accounts and review privacy and security settings. Turn off all unnecessary data, tracking, and sharing. You actually don't have to share those bugs with the brand. Use roles and moderation tools instead of handing out admin to random people, okay? Devices and networks. Keeping your operating system and browser updated updates patch vulnerabilities that attackers rely on. So it's important that if you are prone to not being very safe, that you at least trust that the updates can do great things for you. I know that it sucks that it might break a certain tool, but being vulnerable is very bad. Use a VPN on public Wi-Fi and avoid logging into supercritical accounts from random shared networks if you can help it. Content hygiene. Turn off location on your camera settings, strip metadata from sensitive images, and check your background before you hit post. Credentials. Get a password manager, change your key accounts to unique password, and enable 2FA on everything that matters, and if you can, an authenticator app is better than SMS. Now, the internet is never going to be any safer by default. Anonymity is slowly becoming a premium feature, not the baseline. So most likely this video will get outdated with time. But you don't have to disappear to protect yourself. You just have to stop handing out little pieces of your identity for free. So after this video, pick 3 things from that checklist, set up a password manager, turn off your camera location, and lock down your Discord privacy settings. Protecting yourself is part of your job, and it always has been. It's okay if it's just becoming apparent now, especially if you're a VTuber or any faceless creator. The sooner you harden your setup, the harder it is for anyone to turn your online life into a real-world problem. I'm wishing you very much anonymity and safety on the internet. Be well out there. Good luck, besties. And if you have more tips on how people can protect themselves, please drop them in the comments. And if there's something that I might have gotten wrong, feel free to correct me. All right, bye buddies. Let me know if you want a part 2 to this.